we are back, and hopefully the technical problems help. And we didn't want to have dropped things. In case you guys had tuned in last week, we had the same thing where the last 5 minutes of the video were just dropped, and it was me going, and I hate that. As a production person, I can't stand it. It bothers me. This problem will get fixed. Just like the sound problem, we're going to fix it. We're going to keep evolving. Growth mindset, which is what I had to hear all day today. It was all day long. So, let's get to the last topic. Last topic of the night before before this thing crashes again. First of all, I want to address something, and before we get to anything later, I want to go to I just want to go to Dennis, who said a poodle tough. Really, dude? Of all people, you should never call me poodle tough. You know that. Okay, I'm going to say that. I'm just playing around. NBA, the NBA, the NBA. So the NBA, there's been a debate for I can only imagine, because we had a couple golden ages of the NBA. And over the last 3 weeks, we've been encountering the Last Dance. And we talked about the 90s Bulls. We referenced it earlier. But the 90s Bulls were one of the toughest teams ever. They won 70 games. They were top for such a long time. And then the Golden State Warriors in 2016 won 73 games, but didn't win the championship, where the Bulls did win the championship. So everybody debates who's the better team, who could have played when. Well, we're going to go to it from a standpoint of toughness. So toughness. What is toughness? Well, we're going to play some players. There are some players that were super tough. And we start off with this guy. One of the toughest NBA players of all time, Anthony Mason. Absolutely tough, hard. Bill Laimbeer had that amazing fight. This led to the fight with Larry Bird, where they were brawling. He choked him. Charles Barkley. You know Charles Barkley. You know how tough he is. And you know that he doesn't take any nonsense. Not only with the Sixers, but also with the Suns. He was tough then. He was tough with Houston when he got into the fight with Shaq. Shaq is one of the tougher players, too, which we don't have here. We should have got pictures of Shaq. But Michael Jordan, Gary Payton, these two guys went at it. Karl Malone, look at these guns. Look at these guns. That man didn't play. Nobody messed with him because he was so big. And then this trio, probably some of the toughest dudes ever. New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and Xavier McDaniels. I think the toughest little guy ever, Allen Iverson. That is not an insult. He was 6 feet for an NBA, but he was tough. And then the Mamba himself, one of the last tough guys, in my opinion, in terms of assassin mentality, right? So that being said, we just showed our version of players. The first question I'm going to ask our panel is, who do you think was left off that list? Calvin, I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, who was left off the list? Alonzo Mourning.
Yes, that is another one. I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. I think Zoe was left off the list. I mean, you can't name everybody, but yeah, definitely Zoe comes to mind. I'm trying to think if there was anybody else really. Horace Grant was kind of tough.
No, he wasn't. He was pudgy. I didn't think he was tough. I didn't think Horace Grant was tough.
No, that
I
was
think he
Harvey
was tough
Grant.
because he had the team he was on, but I didn't think he was tough.
Harvey Grant was pudgy. Horace Grant was good.
Are you making up players? I don't know.
No, that's his twin brother.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
right.
He did have a twin brother. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Okay. Go ahead. Okay. Anybody else?
It's hard to single out some people because I feel like the overall culture of basketball at that time was a lot tougher and more physical, I should say.
Okay.
So it's hard to just really, I mean, the whole Cleveland Cavaliers, for that matter. Back in the day, obviously.
Okay, that makes sense. But I think for the most part, we got it. So Heidi, I'm going to throw it to her because Heidi, you didn't watch a lot of basketball in the 90s. You were more baseball, football, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so just watching The Last Dance.
Yeah.
And just kind of seeing that, was there anybody else who you thought could have been tough, could have been? I mean, I think an honorable mention was Dennis Rodman, Bad Boy Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say that whole Pistons team. I'm not, and he who shall not be named.
Yeah. I don't think he was tough though.
And I thought, okay. and when we were talking about this the other day, Calvin, you had said Scottie Pippen, and I actually agreed with that. I thought Scottie was hard to rattle.
Yeah.
And I thought that so even when he would take a hit, he would get up and kind of smile. and act like it was nothing, which messes with people.
That's
so,
true.
He had a toughness
so he was that silent
sort
tough.
of like that was sort of like subtle.
Okay.
And he was real physical too. But yeah, and I think, look, I mean, you don't. It's hard to not miss that a little bit. You know, in the game, because it was kind of exciting. I mean, even at the All-Star game this year, like, you know, in the beginning they do the thing they always do at the All-Star game, and like they just play all offense. But when they actually started playing some really vigorous defense in the last, but that was so exciting, and we hadn't seen that, and like that almost started to feel a little bit like that toughness. People were kind of going at each other in a way that it makes the game exciting. You don't want to see people get hurt, but it makes it exciting.
I mean, you see something, you get a little violent, you see it. I just want to say thank you for everybody who's watching. Dennis saying Rodman. That's funny. Dennis Rodman. Yeah, he's saying Rodman. That just worked. Rodman. Yes, he was definitely one of the tougher players. So love you too, brother. By the way, if you are watching, hit like, subscribe, all that nonsense stuff. Follow us at Fan2Fan Show on social media. That being said, I think that the debate has always been something that, you know, these are the tough guys, right? You saw Jordan. If you've watched The Last Dance, you saw how tough he was. He was like fighting with dudes in practice. He was cursing them out. He was like talking mess. And he was trying to get the best out of them. But he took beatings from the Bad Boy Pistons. He took beatings from the Celtics. He took beatings from the Knicks. And he just kept going. So one of the toughest. But if we had to say a player now who's the toughest, like, here's some of the players in my mind that I think are some of the toughest, and you guys let me know what you think. I'm going to flash these on the screen. I think that man, Jimmy Butler, is probably one of the toughest in the league right now, right? LeBron James is tough. Nobody should question his toughness. I know he's big, but there's never a moment that he's ever backed down. I think Anthony Davis has that mentality as well. He's big too, but he has the mentality, don't mess with him and kind of do that. I think Antetokounmpo is a beast. I think he's one of those people.
Oh, he's so nice, though.
He's nice, but until he gets on the court and he starts doing things that, like, I've never seen him back down. I already know one person I forgot because I know the pictures because I picked the pictures out. But I think these two guys right here, Kawhi to me is one of the toughest in the league and an assassin. And that mentality, I think Chris Middleton, who's guarding Kawhi right now, in that picture, I think he's another one who does that. Rudy Gobert, I get it that he did what he did, but I think he's tough. I think he was always a tough guy. He's French, which is a little weird. And then Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson is probably the closest thing we have to Kobe and that mentality. So, I already know somebody I missed. Calvin, anybody I missed? I already know one person I missed.
Russell Westbrook?
I was going to say.
Yep. Russell Westbrook is the person I was thinking about. Russell Westbrook, and I'm so sorry to Russell Westbrook because I think, honestly, between him and Jimmy Butler, I think those two guys are the toughest in the league.
What about, like, Patrick Beverley?
Patrick Beverley, that's another one.
Bev?
I got the Clippers
Joel Embiid, that guy.
I don't think he's tough.
No.
Nobody picks a fight, though.
He picks a fight, but I think every time somebody, he picks a fight and then runs away like a child. Like, that's what I think he does. And don't get me wrong, I like Joel Embiid. I think he's
like Charles Smith.
What happened?
He like Charles Smith.
Ooh, that's insulting. Remember the guy who was trying to get the layup in The Last Dance in the Knicks? Yeah, you don't want to be Charles Smith. Joel Embiid is like that. He's very finesse. He talks mess to get people out of their game, and then what happens is when somebody gets pissed and fights, he walks away and backs away. So I don't think.
Yeah, no.
Nah.
Okay, so let me say this, not to be disrespectful to Mr. Joel Embiid. He's a big dude.
He's a big
dude.
But
if he was down there, if he was down there playing like Shaq and Barkley, like putting a body on people and all the other stuff, I would put him in that tougher category. It's just that he don't play tough.
He doesn't play tough, but also
he talks tough.
Also, to me, tough is play tough, and you gotta bang, and somebody gives you the ball, and you gotta open it, you gotta yam it on them. You just gotta like I want to see that. He doesn't do that. It's like these soft little dunks. But I also think tough is like if you banged or pushed around Anthony Mason, he might have took your head off. And physically, like, he might have had to go to jail at the end of the night because it was assault. That's the type of, like, mentality. And if you put Joel Embiid back then, I'm pretty sure one of those big 7-foot centers would have killed him. He wouldn't have lasted a year. He's a little soft. That's why I think that's one of the problems of Philadelphia 76ers. They got a lot of soft players because Ben Simmons ain't exactly tough or hard either. But Russell Westbrook, definitely. I'm going to say, I personally think that, and Patrick Beverley, that's another one. Who's the Montrezl Harrell on the Clippers? Yeah. He's another one. That I think,
Rondo.
I don't think Rondo's tough. I don't think Rondo's tough. And by the way, we're going to get back to it in a second. Dennis saying LeBron would last back then. Bro, he would have lasted just same way Jordan lasted. He would have... Come on now. LeBron's one of those great players. I'm not a LeBron fan. I don't really particularly like LeBron. He's never been, he didn't join the Knicks in 2010. But LeBron is one of those players. Nobody wants to come to the Knicks. I know that. LeBron is one of those players that he's 6'8". He's a truck. He's a train. He would have just barreled through people.
Well, he wants to win. He has that intensity. So you have to think that if he were playing at a time where you were allowed to be more aggressive and more physical, that he probably would have been.
Exactly.
He wants to do whatever he has to do to win.
Exactly. Now, here's my question. Why do you say Rondo? Every time Rondo gets into a fight, he starts backing up.
Well, I'm not going to get hit neither. Like,
no, but he doesn't.
It's called weaving, B. It's called.
No. He doesn't weave. He doesn't Floyd Mayweather. He doesn't weave. What he does, and this is what he does, and he picks a fight and then doesn't put his hands. He just walks away. He does a Joel Embiid.
Nah, he's not on the level of Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as Joel Embiid.
I don't think for a second, and I'm going to tell you this right now, I don't think for a second that Joel Embiid is there. But this is my point. So we gave you the list of the players, toughest players. Now, here's the question that I have for both of you. Are any of these players, being that we showed, could they last the players that we just showed? Jimmy Butler, and I'll put him back up. I will totally put him back up because I think this is important. Jimmy Butler, LeBron James. We already got one person in the chat said LeBron James wouldn't last back then. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Patrick Beverley, Klay Thompson, Antetokounmpo. Is James Harden tough? I mean, I don't know.
You know what? I don't know because he takes advantage of the rules too much for me to really claim toughness.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I don't know.
Okay, and all right. So that's my point. My point is that could any of these players last in the
players that have adapted somewhat to today's game, and that's why they are where they are in this game.
Okay.
I mean, give him a chance to. I mean, all of them, would need a little bit of time to. It's like we take a time machine and throw them back there. No, but let loose a bit. But I think, yeah, could they do it? Like, these are all intense dudes who are not.
And these are people that, at the end of the day, you look at them and you say. Like, Jimmy Butler, to me, would have had a field day. Like, he just loves... Like, every time he gets into a fight with somebody, he doesn't back down. I say LeBron James, I understand that LeBron James... There's a lot of LeBron haters. I recognize his skills. I am not a LeBron fan. I recognize his skills. Anthony Davis, like, I just don't... I've never seen him back down. Another one I also want to mention is DeMarcus Cousins, who is injured right now and 2 years with knee surgeries, but... I look at Antetokounmpo, and his mentality is, I don't want to rest. I just want to play. Forget rest management. Kawhi has knee problems, and I think he needs to stop resting. But Kawhi is, to me, the closest thing we have to Jordan nowadays. Like, he's just an assassin. Chris Middleton is one of the best defensive players. I think all of these guys that I just put up, not Rudy Gobert. I think he's the one that probably won't. He would have wilted. But it just lends fact that there's only a handful of guys in today's day and age. Klay Thompson's another one that could last. And I think that all of these guys, you put them in the right situation, and they would have lasted. And I love that it was Shaquille O'Neal that said that the 2016 Warriors would not have been able to win a game against the Lakers of 2000. And I said, are you kidding me? The 2016 had Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala. He's another one who's pretty tough. Like, come on now. I don't think that's being fair. I don't think that's being fair at all.
Yeah, Shaq's always going to say, well, who's guarding me? Who's guarding me? Who's going to guard me?
Yeah.
And my answer is always the free throw line.
Wow. That's true. That's true. You are not wrong there, because at the end of the day, she did it. So I'm gonna end on. I just want to say, and I love that topic because it's gonna be forever a debate going on where people are just gonna say, who would have won against who? And there's no way to go back in time. We could do video game simulations, but at the end of the day, there's no go back and go in time. But, like, when you look at the toughness of the 90s, of these guys, like, there's not a guy that we're showing in these clips that looks nice. That looks like they can't kill you. That looks like they won't just, like, elbow you to the head. And they used to play with the way you used to play. And, you know, like, there were fights. You had so many fights and so many things. And basketball has become a finesse game where if you pass gas, you get called a foul. If you burp, they're like, excuse me, that's a flagrant. And if you smell bad, like you forgot to take a shower or something, they're going to be like, yeah, you're thrown out of the game. Go take a shower. That's what it's come to. It's come to NBA's game, but it's still a great game. We love it. We love it, and we hope it comes back. So we are going to get out on that note because I want to end this show in a good way before the CPU comes up. People, Calvin, anything you want to say to the people who have stuck with us and that sort of thing?
You know, hey, like I said, we in this like bad boys. You know what I mean? We're gonna be around forever. We classic. As always, everybody stay safe. Do what you need to do to maintain a great mental mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another part of it. Not just the physical, but the mental. Check out Heidi's show.
Yeah, we're gonna get Heidi's show, and that's the thing. We're gonna give the premiere date soon. Maybe on next week's show we might give that premiere date, and we do that. We are also gonna have everybody be on the lookout for our social media. We're gonna have some contests that we're gonna start talking about and putting out. We're gonna put them
mostly wet T-shirt, but
wet
a few
T-shirt?
Other kinds.
I'm down for that. Yeah. Anybody in the chat down for a wet T-shirt?
Mostly wet T-shirt.
Content to watch that? That'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know that one of the things I want to revisit, I want to get with my man Monorule, who hopefully is watching, and if not, I'm going to send him the clip. I want somebody to explain the game of cricket to me, because
please.
I don't understand
it. First of all, I think even the math of cricket is insane. They end up with like crazy scores.
Yeah.
Like 247 to I don't understand.
I don't understand the game itself. I always like games that are not necessarily native to New York. We're also going to try to do, and I'm going to announce on air, I want to get an update on soccer. We're going to try to reach out to Brian and see if he can give us an update on soccer.
By the way, if we're placing requests, could someone explain craps to me?
Like the gambling?
Yeah. I literally cannot, I've had actual croupiers explain craps to me, and I still don't understand.
I love poker. Yeah, that's my gambling.
No,
I love
that
poker,
one I get. This is the complicated one. I don't understand what's happening. There's
Poker
a lot
is
of stuff
complicated.
going. No, there's a lot of stuff going on at a craps table, and I'm pretty sure people are just making it up. It's like if you watch that show, New Girl, and they play this game that seems to have the most crazy rules, and at the end of it, you're pretty sure there are no rules. I feel like that's what craps is. I think you're all conning me.
Yeah, I mean they're just basically saying you got a 2, so, you win. Yay! I've said that. I've said that.
No, you don't want snake eyes. You don't want snake eyes. You automatically lose.
Oh really? I've never played craps, so actually I wouldn't mind somebody doing that.
Also rugby, it seems like a lot of first we violently hug and then we run and then but we can't throw the ball forward. We can only throw it back and then we hug again violently and then we. I got a lot of questions. Yeah,
listen, there's some sports I don't know that make sense. Like when you watch synchronized swimming, you know that their form is that's a score that's judged. When you watch what's the one that we got from
ice dancing?
No, the
badminton.
When you watch badminton, that's basically like a version of volleyball and tennis. Okay, if it hits the ground, you lose. When you watch other sports that are not necessarily but cricket is one of the sports I don't understand. They hit it with that giant wooden thing and they run back and forth and they just do that.
And they say that's a wicked googly and stuff like that.
What?
That's what you say in
they
cricket.
Do.
You say that's a wicked googly, and I think it's a good thing.
I think I need to be educated. So I'm going to reach out to him. We're going to see if we can get with him. We're going to reach out and see if we can get with Isaac and see if he can give us some boxing thing. I'm going to send all these clips to those people, and we're going to get some more interviews. So people, Heidi, anything you want to say to the people?
I think I just want to keep saying that's a wicked googly because it's fun to say. But no, really? Thanks everybody for tuning in. Stay safe, stay sane, do something nice for yourself. Take a little extra time, sleep in.
For real.
You know, mix an interesting drink. You know, have a cocktail.
Oh, tomorrow's our day for like cocktails. And
have an interesting drink. It really takes the edge off.
It does. Margaritas, that's our thing. And you know, you're making it seem like without drinking, you wouldn't be able to make it through the day. That's you heard that, right, Calvin? Did you hear that? She was like, it helps you get through the day.
I said it helps take the edge off, and I have never made that face.
Oh, my God.
Ever in my life.
No, that's a Joseph original.
I stand by what I said. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she didn't make that face.
No, she didn't make that face. So, I want to thank everybody for being here. Once again, please, if you can, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Tell a friend. We need to start growing, and there's going to be so much more content. An extra point, interviews. There's a whole bunch of things coming out. Plus, we're going to be back live next Wednesday night with no technical difficulties. Hopefully. And in the meantime, I echo what my co-hosts have said. Stay safe. Stay happy. Enjoy life. Even though it's a little complex right now, it's still worth living, and it's still a great thing. So that being said, peace out. Everybody have a great day. We will see you soon.